Nobody's listening, right? Hi, Andy.
Hi.
All right, so this is the show where we talk like no one's listening, but I am curious, Andy. Is anyone listening?
Oh, yes. This is from Caitlin on Apple Podcasts. Road Trip Gold, 5 stars. My tennis client recommended your show to me before I hit the road for a 16-hour road trip. I listened to your podcast the whole time. Thanks for the good company and drive. Smiley face.
Tennis clients.
I wish it was a winky face instead of just a smiley face.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. It would be nice to have a little but I do love this tennis client thing.
What's a tennis
I'm
client?
seeing a country club. I'm seeing tennis whites. There's baked in sexual tension.
My
Standing
tennis client.
behind someone, like being like, let's work on your swing, your backhand. You know, it's great.
You would probably never allow me to take tennis lessons from a female instructor now that you know about me in tennis, right?
That it makes you horny.
Yeah.
No, you know what? Go with God.
Oh.
I don't want to keep a female instructor from working with the primed clay that you are.
Listen,
to turn you into a tennis champion.
I'm such a feminist. I'm so woke that my husband, who has a penchant for getting real horny after playing tennis, I insisted he had a female tennis instructor. Insisted.
That's how we go. That's how we work.
It's big of you. But it's not big of you. It's for a greater good.
I'm not too worried about you.
You haven't seen me after tennis, what I look like. And the pheromones are just blazing.
I've seen you after tennis, trust me. I've seen you. Yeah, I don't know why I'm not on high alert with you.
Gosh, that kind of feels like a dig, sort of. Do you know what I mean?
No. It's not that you couldn't get it. Of course you could.
Could I? Your tone doesn't have that.
No. You trust me, Andy. And this isn't a challenge or anything.
Trust. No, I promise I won't take it as a challenge.
Okay.
As long as you're real with me right now. And I'm really dissecting your voice and tone of your voice right now.
If you really wanted to step out,
okay,
for sure you could.
I could get it.
Yes.
I think the same for you, too.
Oh, thank you. I'm a woman. It's so much easier.
Wow.
I did see there was a woman. I didn't know how to deal with this.
She couldn't get it?
No. Actually, we really need to pivot hard here because.
Oh, this is a bad segue for this.
This is sad and.
Oh.
Because I was just gonna kind of say I just need to go out there and show a little cleave and like lower my standards, I think, and I could probably get it. I'm assuming.
Yeah. Oh, for sure. How do they say you can get it or you get it?
Well,
you got it. You can get it. You got it.
What do you mean? How do they say? We've said it 85 times.
No, but like if you were talking about like she could get it. No, that's a different thing. That means something completely different.
What?
Okay, there's like you can get it.
We've been saying that over and over.
I know, but never mind. There's differences in the meanings of get it depending on your voice, the intonation who you're talking about. It's really layered.
So much nuance to language.
Yeah, but go on. So you're talking about cleavage.
Well, now I feel terrible.
But that's
I was
what you're talking
driving.
about.
There was a woman who was obviously having an episode of some sort or is just struggling mentally. Sorry.
Continue. Great. Okay.
No, but I didn't know how to deal with this. So I was driving to the grocery store and she was standing on a very busy
intersection. Store street.
First of all, across the street from a school and in front of a grocery store. And it was at the time that children were going to school. And so I'm watching like the crossing guards. It was just such a wild tableau. Very LA.
Ugh, don't say tableau.
You're right. It's so inappropriate. Okay.
Like, don't ever say tableau ever again. Like delete it from the
What? I can't say tableau.
Your dictionary. Do they? I guess maybe they say don't. Why are you twirling your hair right now? You're getting nervous or something.
No, I'm not.
Tableau. Do they say that in your work? Is that a word that's used a lot in writers' rooms and stuff?
No.
Okay, then delete it then.
Okay.
I was going to give you a pass. You were like, yeah, no, sometimes it makes sense, which I'm guessing it does sometimes make sense, but there's other words for it.
Okay. Well, anyway, it was so juxtaposition between kids going to school.
Just say quite a scene.
A lot of rigmarole.
No. Just say it was quite a scene.
It was quite a scene.
There you go.
Kids going to school,
Yeah.
crossing guard, and then there was a woman completely topless. And like, I was nervous it was going to go further than that. And she was like...
Not just cleave, but beef, potentially.
Yes, this is so terrible.
But that's what you were worried about.
It was what I was worried about. But also, obviously, I'm worried about her. And she was, you know, playing with her boobs and stuff.
How? I gotta know.
No.
Like, no.
This is someone, Andy, don't smile.
You're the one smiling.
No, I know, but
you're painting this tableau. I just want to know
when you say to use tableau.
When you just say they're playing with their boobs.
What
did I say?
There.
Oh, same thing.
I want to bring that back. Let's come back around to that, but carry on. Okay.
But was it in like just like messing with them, or was it in a like I'm playing with my boobs and I'm showing all these cars, me playing in like
that one.
More of a silly way, like look at my boobs?
Yeah.
Okay. I just wanted to know the distinction.
And okay, the only reason, well, I mean, this is just so awkward, and I understand how horrible I sound. Like, you know, this woman clearly needed help, but she also seemed to be having a good time. Like, it wasn't a situation where someone seemed like they were in agony but on the flip side, I was thinking, gosh, a lot of people are driving their kids to school right now. This is like right there. Not only that, their kids walking into their school. It's right there. And I personally would not want my kids to see that. And so, but I was thinking like, I don't want the cops to be called on this woman. That, you know, it just drove home again. I wish we had many more resources towards mental health support for like unhoused people and people who are having mental illness issues out in the world versus the only option we have is to call police who come and typically don't de-escalate a situation like this. It's she's in trouble, she's doing the wrong thing, not recognizing like, I don't think she had the like, you know, awareness of really what she was doing other than like it felt good. So there was...
What part felt good?
That she was like whipping it out in the breeze and, you know.
Got it.
She was literally feeling herself. Anyway, I drove into the parking lot of the grocery store, which is kind of right there. I was like, I could have parked closer to this and been within kind of shouting distance to say like, hey, you know, hey.
Yeah, what would you have said?
Well, I don't know why, but I probably would have said, honey.
Honey?
Yeah, I would have started with honey.
How old?
It's really hard to say. I would say my age or a little older.
Okay.
Honey, like, you don't want to be doing that. There are kids right there. I don't want you to get in trouble. Put your top on and go about your day. Mm-hmm. But I'm not trained to to de-escalate as well. So it took you that long to turn my voice down? Anyway, I love how you slowly reached over. Anyway.
Yeah.
I decided against it.
So you just let the children be exposed to this?
Yeah, me and
indecent exposure.
Me and everyone else who's driving by or walking by. I mean, yeah.
Interesting.
What would you have done? You can't do anything.
I can't do anything.
I don't think so.
Now, if there was a man with his dong out, what would I do?
I'd love to know.
Yell, put your dick away. There's kids here. And call the cops.
Oh, but see, again, calling the cops is a tough call.
Not if there's a guy flailing his dick around and there's children around. Not for me. That's an easy call.
Okay. You do have to, when you think about calling the cops, though, I mean, I think I used to call the cops, like in New York, my apartment was on the street and there were often fights because it was down the street from, what was that club?
Oh, yeah, I remember.
Some theater.
Yeah.
So it would let people out late at night and there were often fights happening.
Yeah.
And sometimes domestic things and whatever.
Yeah.
So I feel like I was willy-nilly calling the cops all the time.
Yeah.
Now I'm like, after also George Floyd, and I have a much more intense awareness about how calling the cops for someone like us might result in a very different way than calling the cops for a person of color or someone who's dealing with mental illness, or you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So you have to be careful. But
Sure.
Okay, going back to you calling her them.
Yeah.
Okay. So I do this too.
Yeah.
But I've noticed this.
Yeah.
So, you know, you and I both work with and are around non-binary people whose pronouns are they, them.
Yeah.
And you and I were talking about the show Baby Reindeer.
Yeah.
And I was talking about the woman who is a trans woman in the show or something around that.
Yeah.
And you started calling her they, them.
Yeah.
Now, so I just want to...
But not because they were trans. I think I was just saying they, like I just did when I was talking about this woman. You can say they for anybody.
Interesting. Okay. But,
you know the example of
if
like,
you
hey, I
know
just found this wallet. Whose wallet is it? It's theirs over there.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's theirs.
Yeah. It's like you can use it for anything. And I don't mean anything, I mean any person.
Oh boy. You heard it here. Andy. No. So, but yes and no though. I guess it's his wallet. If you don't have you don't know who the person is, then you'd say someone lost their wallet.
No. If you were in TSA check line, right?
Mm-hmm.
And a guy left his wallet, and they're like, "Whose wallet?" And the person was right there. You but it's theirs. It's theirs. You're pointing at him.
Oh, I would say his.
No, but you obviously can say his.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm saying theirs is not wrong. In our language, it's not wrong.
It's not wrong. However,
yeah,
I think that there is a tendency for people to just use they, them when it's kind of not a cis situation.
Oh, interesting.
As kind of a catch-all. And for someone like a trans woman, that's offensive because her pronouns are she, her.
Right.
But different from, I see what you're saying, and you are not wrong, but I'm just pointing out, like, I'm kind of, aware of that because I have been guilty of that, like using they, them as a catch-all, but really it's like, no, I actually know what this person's pronouns are.
Right.
And it's just as offensive to say they, them, if I know them and you know what I mean? If I know, let's say it's a her. Anyway.
Interesting. I need to ask some people more in the community about this because I did say they, them referring to just a cis woman. And I remember it caused confusion for someone recently. And they were like, "Oh, are they non-binary?" I was like, "No." A woman. They're like, "Oh, yeah." But then they were like, "Oh, yeah."
You might be using they, them a little too freely.
Maybe that's all it is.
Yeah. You might want to rein in your they, them just in life, like not even having to do with,
I have some people I can ask about this. That's really interesting because if you noticed it, but you thought I was referring to the trans person as they, them on like purpose where I wasn't at all. I literally was just using it in the case of like.
Right.
Like, yeah, right. It wasn't loaded, which you thought it could have been, which is not a bad assumption.
Well, not loaded at all. It just feels like kind of a, I think you and I are of the generation. I mean, you and I probably within the last 10 years is the first time we have been interacting with, friends with trans people, non-binary people.
Yeah.
Still new to us relatively.
Sure.
Not that we weren't before, but it wasn't as like open or aware.
Yeah.
We certainly weren't aware of it. And I feel like, so our brains sometimes still have to do the math. Or I'm like acutely aware of like, don't fuck this up because I don't want to offend someone. So I am like, not always, but I will be thinking like, remember not to say this or...
That's great, but that's also tricky too because then you're in your head about it.
A little bit. I think I'm making a point here, so I'm saying it sounds like it's more intense than it is. But
yeah.
Just to say, like, sometimes I'll just check myself if I'm like, wait, I'm about to, what's the word? Like, I don't know, address someone or introduce someone or something like that, and I want to make sure I get it right.
Yeah.
Just point being that I think you and I are, kind of the old fogies.
Oh,
whereas
for
our
sure.
kids are not going to have to do this math. It's not going to be a thing for them at all.
Yeah, for
but,
sure.
So, it's just something to know and think about, I think.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It is.
But you I think have close relationships with people who you could actually, you can openly talk about this with them, which is so cool.
And I'm going to educate myself a little bit more on this.
Great.
Yeah.
Just one quick little thing is that a listener or a nobody messaged us to say that...
What did they say? I can't help myself.
She said, just so you know, ADHD and justice sensitivity. Both adolescents and adults with ADHD have been reported to show high justice sensitivity. So this means people with ADHD may generally perceive injustice more frequently and intensely and show stronger emotional and behavioral responses to injustice.
Interesting.
Isn't that?
How do they study that?
I don't know, but that is a great question.
But if I was in that study, I would tick that box.
It resonates for you for sure.
Yeah. I like justice. Speaking of justice, you did a little thing. We had a little skirmish not even a skirmish we didn't have. You laid out some juice boxes for me to take to school the other day. Do you remember this?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
And you were like, it was the night before, and you said, hey, you need to take these juice boxes to the kids' school. It's like teacher something week.
Appreciation.
Which I already had questions like, so you're getting them juice boxes? That I didn't ask that.
Yes, you actually did.
I did.
Yeah.
And what'd you say? You didn't have time for any of this. That's what I remember.
I said, yes, I signed up for it. It's a thing. They're doing like a snack thing, you know.
Yeah. So you're just like, just stop asking questions. You said you just got to take it to the office, right? I just had this feeling you weren't giving me all the information, which is a burden that you have to live with a lot because I'm always like asking, is there more details? You tell me how something goes and I ask you again.
Yeah.
The thing is, I have an intuition that I don't think that you understand how big my intuition is. The next morning, I'm going to take the kids to school. The juice boxes are laid out with also some Starbucks gift cards.
Yeah.
That makes more sense to me for a Teacher Appreciation Day, but that's neither here or there. And I said, hey, so just double checking. I got to take these to the office, right? And you kind of laughed in my face and like, yeah, oh, yes. But like, you kind of like pity laughed at me or something. Like, and also I don't have time for this, right? But I couldn't help myself because I just felt like I wasn't getting the info. And just how validating it was for me when I got to the fucking office with fucking juice boxes. And that was not where I was supposed to take it.
Where were you supposed to take it?
There was a fucking like wheelbarrow and a table with parents set up in another area, not in the office.
And so how much of an imposition was that for you? Did they go, whoa, like, I can't, what are you doing? Holy moly, like, call the cops.
I just want to know why you didn't tell me the truth when I asked 2 times, because I
didn't
knew
know.
it wasn't the office.
Obviously, I didn't know that there was a wheelbarrow.
Why
there was
were
no
you so
mention
confident about the office?
There was no
Why
mention.
were you so confident about the office?
There was no mention of a wheelbarrow, trust me, anywhere. And wait, I'm trying to find, actually, I need to find it because I'm like, I'm almost positive it said office, but maybe.
So help me God if it says wheelbarrow.
Can you imagine? Okay. So let's appreciate our teachers.
Love that.
Sign up to donate individually prepackaged items for a snack cart for the staff and a luncheon. And it says location front office. Okay, so you know what? This is just one of those things.
Okay.
Now, let me tell you, I'm sorry that you had not the right information. I
have an intuition.
You do, but
I really do.
You do, but you also do have like a tendency. The reason I'm like, yes, is because you have a tendency to check my homework.
But it's because when I know,
they want juice boxes.
Well, also, okay, hey,
Yes.
hey, where does it say anything about juice boxes on that flyer? Tell me how you got to juice box.
Oh my
I
God.
need to know. Will you just let me know?
Oh yeah, sure. So there's a list of things that you can bring.
Can you read the list?
Sure. Here we go. There's individual chips, individual popcorn.
Like individual size?
Yeah.
Nice.
A box of them. A box of individual crackers, mini candy bars, box of individual cookies, individual trail mix, granola bars, bananas, tangerines, seltzers, cases of mini sodas.
Oh, that's both those last 2 are something we do a lot.
Case of small juice drinks. And you see, I signed up and I said pink lemonade and apple juice.
Now, do you think
this
a
feels
case,
good.
you only got 8 of each. Do you think that really qualifies as a case?
Oh.
But you know what? I'm not worried about the underplay because I'm more concerned of like, why juice boxes anyways? But for all we know, there's someone on staff that loves a juice box.
And there's also like individual iced coffees. This is just like a nice little kind of snack thing to have. I mean, we should have it all the time for the teachers. Like,
I hope they have some sort of bounty in the teacher's lounge of snacks, but I guess
don't know
not.
if they do.
So I guess it's really a bring your own situation.
Well, anyway, glad we worked that out. But yes, sometimes I do get a little bit of, and I know it's nothing compared to what you're dealing with, but
As a man, yeah.
no, I honestly, a lot of things that are kind of like, oh my God, that feeling about you, I now do chalk up to ADHD.
What do you mean?
Like, why is he leaving all the cabinets open? Or like, why are you asking me, I'm saying I'm going to go do this. You don't need to, if I'm saying, oh, I'm going to CVS to get my prescription, you don't need to go, you're going today, but don't you have a prescription coming in 2 days? Like, you don't need to do the math for me of trying to, the things that you do for you, which you have to. But sometimes it gets, but that's fine.
It gets what? Tiring? Hard to deal with?
No, it's not. And it's nothing. I know that your walk through this world with this sort of thing is much more challenging. But
You can't get it anymore. You're not getting it.
You're withholding sex?
Oh, I guess now I am, but I was meaning that you just don't. You can't get it with anybody with that attitude.
I mean, out in the world?
Yeah, your essence has lost the gettedness.
Oh,
Do you know what I mean? It is an essence, I do think, for people.
Sure. Confidence.
Confidence, sex appeal, confidence. Confidence is key.
Key.
Yeah, for sure.
Key.
Okay. Let's move on. Yikes. I'm sorry
No, don't.
That you're living in a nightmare.
I hate myself for bringing that up the way I did.
We have that in common.
I'm sorry.
Can I tell you?
I love you so much.
I
and
know you do.
You put up with just as many.
Amen to that, sister.
Okay.
Okay. Can I tell you something I figured out?
Yeah.
I think I figured out, this is going to be hard for you to hear, but I think I figured out what we are, like humans. Okay?
Wait, hang on.
I think I answer.
Andy?
I bet this is a theory that's already out there. And so if there's someone listening that knows the name of the theory, send me what
This
it's
is huge.
Send me what it's called so I can go down a wormhole.
You're about to tell me?
Yeah. I know what we are.
What?
We're no different than a fucking car or a computer or a refrigerator. We're not. Okay? Let me tell you what we all have in common. All right? Batteries. Yeah? That's our heart for us. For a car, it's a car battery.
Mitochondria, actually.
For a refrigerator, it's electricity is plugged into. Okay?
Okay.
Gas, we all need gas. For a car, that's gas. For us, it's like blood and all this stuff going through us.
So disappointing.
We are just really good. Hold on. Technology. And the reason we don't know the answer to everything is because, like, does a car fucking know when it dies why it died? No, we are nothing but a car, but like really, really advanced. Like, why do we think this stuff, our skin and whatnot, is any different than like a microchip? And one more thing before you rebut. We've also evolved, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like man back in the day, not as smart, looked a little different. We're getting sleeker. Some might say that we're looking younger longer, right? Mm-hmm. Okay. iPhone generation 1 versus generation 5 versus the iPhone 15. The technology gets better and better and better.
A refrigerator is not a sentient being. It has no consciousness, because what is consciousness? Awareness of our existence. There's a huge difference. Now, yes, we're organisms. No one's debating that. Just like everything on Earth is, that's not man-made, like a refrigerator is not an organism. Okay, but so I do have follow-up questions. I know that you're really jazzed about this.
I want to tell you one thing with the thing that you just did right there. We're just better tech. You're calling it we're an organism with consciousness. We're just better tech. Like, we are to like a vacuum cleaner, that divide, similar to like what a vacuum cleaner is to a paper plate. Okay?
Andy, sorry, but you sound so dumb.
I think that this is pretty plausible.
Now, I think that we are, I guess, a form of live tech, but
we are live tech.
You do see the difference between like a man-made electronic and a sentient being.
I'm saying we didn't make us.
What?
You know how we made the iPhone?
Yeah.
Somebody made us.
Well, what? So now you're saying there's God?
No, God is
like
not...
You're like unraveling your own argument.
No. We're a piece of technology that's so good, right? But someone did make us. I don't think it's God. I think it's more like a Bill Gates type of character, but like that we can't understand.
We evolved over gazillions of years from organisms to, it's just evolution. Someone didn't come with like, I was joking about the tennis pro with you as a wonderful piece of clay to shape into a tennis star.
Okay.
It's not like we weren't pieces of clay that someone came and were like, well, now here's this. They were like, I'm going to find hair from here and here. And, not like a refrigerator. You tell me that you do see the difference between our cat, Ramona, a sentient being, and a toaster.
Yeah, no. I definitely see the differences. Okay. But do you see the difference between an iPhone and a bicycle? One's a
No.
much more advanced thing. I'm saying we're so advanced, like our tech is so advanced that like it would be hard for us to wrap our head around it.
But do you think that someone, I mean, this is it's feeling a little Adam and Eve.
But we're thinking of someone as in just another one of us, where it's like, we're the kind of thing that built an iPhone. What does the thing that look like that would want to make us? I don't know what that thing looks like.
Right. I don't think anyone, I mean, except for people who think that they do, no. I've talked about, I think that there is something bigger. We can't know what it is. My kind of thing is like, it's energy, it's love. It can morph into different things for different reasons. And
Yeah.
so it's not like, I'm not thinking of like these giant hands coming down from the sky and like, but I guess I see what you're saying now. But it's interesting because when you started this out,
Yeah.
and I'm sorry I called you dumb, but it's like it's such a leap. But when you started this out, I thought you were kind of saying like, we're just tech, just like, a refrigerator is going to die and it's going to go back to the earth and there is nothing beyond the refrigerator. But then you're saying that we're tech, that this like very advanced thing has created just as we create iPhones
But no, I don't see a distinction in the point that you made just now about the like refrigerator and like just going to go to dust and whatnot. I think is a plausible argument. I don't think that argument's any different than adding the other piece of someone making us. I think it's the same thing to me. Now, I want this to be true? I don't want it to be true.
Hang on.
Yeah.
So you now with this theory that you've figured out.
Yeah.
So you think that we just die and go back to the earth and that's it?
I think it's possible.
Well, of course it's possible.
Yeah. I think in this theory, that is true. Yes.
So then what is this thing that's creating us? What's the, plane or realm that they're operating in? They, them. It is operating in. And why do we, as sentient beings, having been like not have access to that because we're just robots that it made? But it made us with like, awareness and consciousness.
But people right now are worried that we're making that with AI stuff, right? They're worried that it's going to have its own consciousness. So how could that have maybe not already happened to us? Someone figured out, literally 100,000 years ago.
Okay. I guess I see. But I think that there's a huge difference between AI consciousness. I don't know that people are going to think that AI has consciousness.
I think some people think that and are worried of it.
I don't know that maybe their definition of consciousness is different from mine and like Eckhart Tolle's. But I don't know. Interesting theory. Now, is this why I said the other day, because we've been talking about, our kids taking French. We're all Duolingo obsessed. And I think it's such a gift to give your kids to have them exposed and learning another language. Sure. I think it's really great. And also for you and me, it's good for our brains to be working on other languages. Yeah. And you were like, why is it so important for kids? And I was like, in an ideal world, I would love for our kids to be bilingual.
Yeah.
I have friends who are going to LAUSD has like bilingual magnets and stuff like that. And you were like, but what is it really getting? What is the benefit?
Yeah.
And I said, mostly joking, but also not totally. Well, think about what an asset being bilingual will be when the aliens come. Because humanity is going to have to bridge the divide, and they're going to need translators.
So dumb now.
Well,
hold on. You were not joking about that?
No, I was like mostly joking.
But you're saying now you weren't completely joking.
Yeah, no, I wasn't.
Okay, take me back to this moment because now
You were doing laundry.
No, I remember. My head's like scrambled right now though because when you're saying is, so you said like it would be good for them just because you really jumped to the alien thing pretty quick.
Well, you were like...
And then I was like, what do you mean? And then you were like, yeah, because if the aliens come, the more language you know, the better brokers they are, or something like that, right?
Well, also, like, I do often think, there's, in this country, there's such a divide. Think about the last time our country really felt like we're united as one. And I'll tell you when it was.
Okay.
It was against this other outside thing, and it was 9/11.
Okay.
Our entire country, it doesn't matter if you're Republican, Democrat, whatever, everyone that day felt like, unity and grief and fear and devastation for what they're seeing. That was a unite. So I think that having a common enemy or a common whatever is the only thing at this point in time that can unite us. And I often think we're such idiots. Like, there are all these dictatorships popping up all over the world and stuff, and everyone's divided and whatever. like the aliens are looking at us going, oh, it's almost time. Like, they're going to come and I don't know. But
and
maybe...
yet the kids... But then walk me through the next part, though.
Well, let's say, what percentage of people on Earth are bilingual, trilingual? There's going to be a communal, like there's going to be kind of a, like, raise your hand if you speak another language, because we need to bridge all these divides. Oh,
Who needs to bridge the divides?
Humans. Like,
with each other?
Yes.
Holy shit. When you said this in the laundry room, I thought you meant talking to the aliens.
No! We need to unite as humans.
I don't know if this is better or worse for you. Okay. And let me just say, your reaction to my theory, which, please, if it is a theory, someone tell me what it's called so I can look into it more. Well, I was starting to feel like pretty dumb because I feel like you were starting to, not poke holes in it, but like you had a vibe about it. You had a pokey hole vibe. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But wow, what you're putting forth right now, I guess I know why we married each other is all I'm saying.
Yeah, we're match made in heaven. If there is a heaven.
Yeah.
But listen, my reaction to you is like multi-levels. One is that, first of all, it's really emotional for me to think that we're just refrigerators for like reasons that you don't have that.
No, yeah, I don't want this to be the case. I just think it's maybe plausible.
So do you think that there's all of these coincidences and all of these things and the kids that are like talking about past lives of very specific people and information they would not have, and the hummingbird in front of my parents' house and all of this stuff is what?
I think it's pretty magical. I don't even want to put forth my theory that's adjacent to my other theory because it might be upsetting.
Okay, so it's an emotional response. Second of all, your theory is not new. I mean, I think I haven't heard it phrased that way. Like we're no different from refrigerators.
Or cars.
Or cars, whatever.
Computers.
But it was weird that you used a bike as an example of something much more primitive. Like, bikes are pretty good technology.
Yeah, but didn't I compare it to like an iPhone?
Yeah.
Okay, you're not...
Okay.
You don't see the leap between a bike and an iPhone?
I do. I see a leap, but bikes were pretty revolutionary.
For sure. Huge.
Okay. Anyway.
I think the smartphone, pretty revolutionary.
Yeah. So what I was going to say is, when people talk about the sim, almost like there's some kid out there like playing us and that kind of also gives justification to all of these things that have happened.
Yeah, the coincidences. The sim's
like
great for that.
Yeah. Someone is puppeteering us, which is kind of what you're saying. Someone has created the technology that has become us.
We're just like a big ant farm that someone set up.
Well, that's different to me from... Okay. God. Can I tell you something?
I feel like each one of these I feel like it's like you're upset because there's for a split second you're like you can see just like a hint of logic in it that's upsetting to you, but then you're also like, no, but this is so dumb. But I think it's like it's just amusing to me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I think we can agree upon is that we don't really know, and we never will until, we die and go to up in the clouds, and there's a pearly white gate, and there's like a man with a staff. He's like, have you had sex before marriage?
St. Peter.
Yes.
What
Anyway,
a boring fucking job if that guy has to do that for eternity.
also,
Like, does he get a piss break? Actually, I don't think he pissed in
that
heaven.
version of, yeah, I don't think so. That version of heaven sounds not that fun to me.
Which one?
Just like you're sitting around a bunch of fluffy clouds all day.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me say, we're talking about aliens, and I had this thought the other day of, if there are aliens, or if there's like some weird teenager playing us as a video game somewhere, what an interesting thing motels are. And this kind of like came...
Why?
Because it's kind of this like, what happens at motels? Okay. Like sperm world, people like jerking off or fucking someone to give sperm.
Okay.
You and your tennis pro coach, hooking up after your tennis lesson because it's like no one would ever expect you to be there. It's a bedroom. There's a bathroom.
Number one, I don't think we're making it to the hotel. This would probably be in the vehicle situation.
Vehicle?
Yeah.
Whoa.
Yeah.
You'd have car sex?
Yeah.
As an affair?
In this particular scenario with tennis, yeah.
You don't want to have it be nice?
No.
Okay.
I'm good.
I feel like that, I'm going to circle back to that, but a motel.
Mm-hmm.
Affairs, seedy things, sex trafficking,
Jesus Christ. Okay.
sex workers that are not being trafficked, all the, a lot of sex. And drug dealers and like weird drug deals going down.
You need to stop.
Hang on.
Okay.
And also like just bad things happening, like seedy things. That's where you go when it's like a quick, playing dirty. And then it's like families on their way to Disneyland.
Jesus Christ. I don't know where to begin. The idea that you think like aliens or whatnot would be like, and why do these hotels exist is so ludicrous. And also, the way you're painting motels is such a narrow view, and you're not taking into consideration like the advent of the hotel in the
motel.
Sorry, no, exactly. You're making my point for me. The advent of the motel or roadhouse, when it first started, it wasn't that kind of thing. It was a revolutionary thing that provided housing for people traveling around our new country that had
selling vacuums, and
interstates
stuff.
And whatnot. It was so it didn't have any of these connotations
I'm not talking
you had.
about the 1960s.
No, but that's when they were invented. And there was no sinister thing about it. Yes, now in some cases, some of these old rundown hotels might be a spot where you have some of the stuff that you're talking about going on. But that's not why they were invented.
There? Who else?
Like good, hardworking fucking people.
Families on road trips.
Yeah, people traveling around for their job. Yeah, like you sound...
You don't think they're staying at like a... Best Western?
Here's the thing. Best Western? I mean, yeah,
Days Inn.
Hotels go through phases.
Motels.
Hotels and motels. Now there are hotels that are shitty. You're talking about motel. You're talking about...
Who's calling anything
You're
shitty?
talking about pay for the night lodging that has not aged well. And
I mean, I've stayed at probably more motels than you. Bucko.
Maybe. I really doubt it, especially with the like vibe you're bringing to motels.
No, but I would love to know what else there is. It's families and it's people up to no good.
No.
Or people who are making a living as sex workers who I'm laughing because I'm going to get in trouble. I'm all over the place.
Or
Okay.
people traveling, or people that, lost their apartment and need a temporary place to stay, or
Okay, that's
a
fair.
newly divorced
People
person.
on the lam.
People on the lam. Just anybody that is traveling and needs to stay in a place for like a night or maybe a little bit more.
Okay.
But the idea that you think the aliens would be like, Hawaii on Earth, it's such an easy thing to explain to them. Like, they probably have something very similar.
I wonder if they're like, yeah, you think the aliens have something very similar? Maybe in space. There's a space motel.
Yeah, very plausible.
Question. So you would have an affair, like you're horny after tennis.
Yeah.
Cute tennis teacher. She's got a thing for you, clearly. Mm-hmm. And you're just like, I'm going to ruin it all. My marriage, my relationship with my kids.
My burgeoning forearm. Because you got to imagine that the lessons
Things are going to fall apart after this.
Yeah.
Wow, what a risk. And you're going to a car?
I think it's just going to be so hot that we can't wait. It's like right after the tennis lesson.
First of all, I'm kind of disappointed in you that you would, like, if you have the option to wait 15 minutes, you could be at like the Four Seasons in a nice, sweet.
The Four Seasons.
A motel, whatever.
A motel.
Okay. And you're wasting it on car sex. And like, do you know how fast that is going to be? It's going to be like, and then you're going to be like ripping your clothes off and getting into weird positions. And once you're there, you're like, I just want this to be over. And then it's going to be over. And then talk to me about the feeling you're going to have. Sitting in that car, cramped in the overflow parking lot of the country club.
Oh, I was thinking this is more of a public court situation. I don't value myself enough in this fantasy to be able to afford a country club or country club lessons. This was like meeting someone at a public court, the kind of courts I play at.
Oh.
Yeah, this was like these were like $30 or $45 lessons. This was not, if it was a country club situation.
It's not like our friend who wrote in, I see her at a country club.
Yeah, totally. She said client.
Yeah, you're no one's client.
But if it was a country club situation, wouldn't I just be like doing it somewhere at the country club?
You're not a client at a country club.
No. But
yeah, but
answer my question. Wouldn't I be doing it at the country club somewhere?
Well, that's what I was thinking. That's why the car was like, what?
Well, now you understand I was at a public court.
It does make more sense. And I think
the car is much better than a public bathroom. That I couldn't bring myself to.
Oh, God. Now, talk to me about the feeling you have when it's done.
Not good, probably.
Probably. I know it's the worst feeling of your life. You know, you just did something that will, I mean, if you get caught, affect every aspect of your life negatively.
Yeah.
And the relationships that are most precious to you, your kids and your wife, are going to be the ones that suffer the most.
But you would probably understand because you know of the whole tennis situation and you also were the one that encouraged it. I feel like you would probably be like, you know what? Mea culpa, right? You would kind of be like...
What kind of car? Is it your car or
my
her car?
bad. I don't know. I didn't get that far. Do you want me to go that far?
I do.
What kind of car do they have?
They...
I want a minivan so bad, but that's not it. It's
That
probably
would be
like
ideal.
it's probably like, you know what it really is?
What?
It's more like a this is old, but like a 97 like Jetta.
Oh, cute.
Like a white Jetta.
That's nice. Can I say something?
Yeah, totally.
Okay. It's going to sound judgmental, but I might as well just keep the
Sure.
good times going.
Yeah.
My Pilates class,
Yeah.
I'm like, where are all of these young, svelte, fit, beautiful women getting all this money? They all walk out and get into their Mercedes, Teslas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, what is happening?
Mm.
They're like 25 to 30, I would say, by and large. Real cute. They all have, my kind of workout clothes game is looking real raggedy in there.
Really?
Yeah, because I'll wear, like workout pants, but then just like a t-shirt.
Okay. What do they wear?
They have like really cool kind of outfits.
How so?
Like the pants match the kind of top that's like kind of sports bra-y, but not totally. Like it's not meant for supporting anything. It's like
You
a
see the
fashion.
nipple through it or what?
No nipple.
Okay.
But anyway, where like where are these people getting all this money?
I don't know. I really don't know. I think also, LA, this dawned on me the other day. LA is such a bizarre place.
Yeah.
You and I also are both in the entertainment industry. So most of the people we know are somehow adjacent to that weird world of it all.
Yeah.
We are in such a small, weird bubble.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I went to, the other night I took our daughter to the community opera.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
Which was very, very cool. It was at a big, huge cathedral in downtown LA. And I walked in there and I was like, oh, here's a lot more of the rest of LA, if that makes sense. Like it was all walks of life.
Right.
Like literally.
LA is a huge melting pot, and we're kind of just seeing this one.
We're in this weird bubble. So you're going to Pilates where those people are going to go.
Are they? I wish I knew, though. I'm like, are you actors? They all could be,
I don't know.
They're all beautiful, could be actors, but I'm like, they're not. I know how actors make livings, and you're not 25 and.
Do you see repeat people sometimes?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
So
yeah,
you
yeah.
know repeat people now.
A couple.
Do you have any like, hey, how's it going, friends?
No, I wish I did.
You don't?
But I think I kind of am. I mean, I'm not the only one. There are definitely other kind of mom types in there.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely, this isn't the like hipster part of town.
Okay.
And it must just be, I mean, it's kind of the cool part of town. It must be these young women, maybe who have wealthy families or something, or like, I'm going to go pursue this. And they're like, take the Audi or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
But I wish I had friends, and I'm definitely one of the more friendly type people. Not that people are not friendly, but, when the teacher comes in, it's like, hey, everyone, how's everyone doing? And I'm just like, can anyone else say like, good?
No one says anything?
No, it's me.
Hold on. Do you have any sort of rapport with the teachers at all, or does that not happen?
My
and
two favorite teachers, they know me.
They do?
Yes.
Great.
One of them, like, yeah, they know me by name. Hey, Elizabeth, come on in.
Yeah.
Or whatever. So I do get that from the teachers. That's nice. But they're also young, like cool gals.
Yeah.
So I'm definitely kind of the mom around town in a schlubby t-shirt and
Oh, but I bet it's great. See, I would like that.
I'm there to work the muscles.
Oh.
Yeah. I'm not on a runway.
Yeah.
I'm just here to get some burn. I love it. It does. I have to do it once a week. If I don't, I can tell.
Okay.
My back starts. It's my old lady stuff.
Yeah. I don't know, but to answer your question, we're just in a crazy weird bubble.
Yeah.
We really are.
Yeah.
It's nice we need to like step out of it sometimes.
Well, it's interesting because, our kids are so used to watching TV, and it's almost everything is, oh, there's so-and-so, or there's, like Lauren Lapkus shows up frequently in shows that we're watching,
Shout
and
out. Yeah.
Friends, and, good friends of ours. Otis's favorite movie is 8-Bit Christmas. June's in it.
Yep.
It's like they show up a lot. And our kids don't know that that's not the normal experience for every person.
Right.
But the flip side of that is I hope it's okay that I'm teasing this out. But, our son and our daughter also know, like, oh, their parents podcast. Everyone podcasts, I guess.
Sure.
Everyone has a podcast.
Sure.
My dad's a record producer. He has, like, singers and artists over to do writing sessions, and they write songs. And I know what the process looks like, kind of.
Yeah.
Well, our son was like, I want to make a song.
Oh, yeah.
And you and him had a writing session.
Yeah.
And made a fucking awesome song that's fully his vision.
Oh, completely.
And I think we should put it on the end of next week's episode once it's out on Spotify and stuff.
Oh, yeah. Well, let's hype it up next week because it would be so cute to get him some extra streams that our lovely listeners could maybe provide.
Oh, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Because he's so hyped. But yeah, we made this last weekend, and this weekend we decided to put it out. So it's coming out next weekend.
It's so great.
It's going to be on Spotify. We'll announce it next week.
But it's very cool to me also that our kids, like, what kid gets to have you thought about that? If you were Otis's age and could be like, I'm going to go in an actual studio and record a song with a seasoned professional producer who's cool.
Yeah.
Like how insane that is.
In my day, completely insane.
Yeah.
Still insane now. But I'm also like, but cool though that also like kids anywhere in the US can do that now, where it literally wasn't possible for me when I was a kid.
Well, you mean with like GarageBand?
Yeah, and being able to upload stuff to Spotify and iTunes. Like that was completely impossible when I was a kid.
Yeah.
You would have to go to a recording studio and you would have to, there was no Spotify or anything. It was like, you weren't going to get you could go to the local record store in St. Louis. You could go to Vintage Vinyl and they had like a locals area if you had made, CDs.
Or if you
that could
saw
be there.
Nelly at like what's that called?
Blueberry Hill?
Blueberry Hill.
Do you think Nelly was at Blueberry Hill?
Yeah.
You do?
I think Nelly was there.
Okay. But anyways, I know exactly what you mean.
Okay, well, this was illuminating and fun.
Great.
Good night.
Good night.